Welcome. My name is Gabriel and I'm here to talk to you about what could have been in the world of Game of Thrones had George R.R. Martin stuck to his original plan. Now, we all know that there's a long way to go between writing an idea and actually writing a book. And it's no different with George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire, or as we HBO watchers know it, A Game of Thrones. Back in 1993, when George was looking for someone to publish his books, he had a very different outline thought out for his story. The very first thing that comes to mind is that in his outline, he had a much smaller political landscape, with the main warring factions being the Starks, the Lannisters, the Dothraki across the sea, and, of course, the mysterious and deadly others, known as the White Walkers in the HBO show. Now, this doesn't mean that George wasn't going to include all the other houses and factions in the Westeros world, but at least they weren't going to be of major importance to the overarching story. But who knows, maybe in the outline there wasn't going to be a Ramsay Snow of the cannibalistic House Bolton, or our beloved Crush, our beloved Crush, Oberyn Martell of House Dorne. There wasn't even going to be a Cersei Lannister. The next main difference in the outline is the relationship with the Starks. Now, while the 5 Stark children remain intact in both the outline and the story, it's their relationships and their family dynamics that change. Let's start off with Sansa Stark. Her story starts off similar in both the outline and the books, but everything goes south once she actually decides on marrying Joffrey, and she even bears him a child. And everything comes clashing down when she actually chooses Joffrey and her child over the Starks and her siblings, which is something our Sansa would never do. Now, the next 2 Stark children have a very interesting change. While their plot lines are somewhat similar in both the outline and the story, there's one thing that had a major course correction. After Winterfell burns to the ground and Arya flees north to meet up with the Night's Watch, she finds Jon and she falls madly in love with him. Yeah, you heard that right. It seems like George had his mindset on having an incestual relationship from the beginning. If it was going to be the Starks, if it was going to be the Lannisters, he didn't care, he just wanted to be there. But this doesn't end here. Jon and Arya's wasn't a simple incestual love story. It was actually going to be a love triangle between Jon, Arya, and our favorite imp, Tyrion Lannister. But Tyrion is a whole different story. His motivations were pretty much the same in both the outline and the story, but there was no mention of him being a dwarf. After he removes Joffrey from the throne and takes it himself, he is betrayed by his own brother, Jaime Lannister, who was after the throne from the beginning. He is then sent in exile to the north, where he meets up with Jon and Arya, and here, obviously, he falls in love with Arya. But Arya doesn't love him back. So this all leads into conflict between him and Jon, and instead of building a friendship with him like he does in the TV show, he builds a growing rivalry, all because of Arya. Last but not least, we have our Dothraki queen, Daenerys Targaryen, who George R.R. Martin had a slightly different route planned for. In the outline, after Viserys Targaryen, her brother, is murdered by Khal Drogo, her husband, Dany bides her time, waiting for the right moment to exact her revenge, and kills him. After that, she flees into the unknown with Jorah, and for some magical reason finds some eggs, dragon eggs that is. There's one thing that remained the same in both the outline and the books, and the TV show for that matter, and that's us waiting 6 seasons and 6 books for Dany to actually go to Westeros. Well, that's all for today, folks. I hope you liked it, and if you did, leave us a comment, leave us a story, an anecdote, tell us what you want to hear from us, and please subscribe or follow us on Facebook, and thank you for watching, guys.